What's up, man? It's Podson Radio. We back in the house. We got to go shine moment off the top for the simple fact of this is episode 100. 99 episodes done passed, came, gone. We stayed consistent. We fought through all the struggles and adversities, and we keep going. Look, now we in Calabasas, California, man. I don't even know what's going on now. We're sitting here with a legend, as you can see. Of course, I always got to start, it's family first. So we got Sitting Pretty Podcast, 101.1 The Beat. Nikkei in the building. What's good with you?
I'm doing good. Just glad to be here.
Yeah, man, it's major right now.
Right.
What's going on in our life? You ain't got touched by an angel. You know what's happening. But all right, so like I said, we got a mogul in the building, a rapper, actor, one-time NBA player. Man, that's done it all. He got new movies coming out. He been dominating the movie industry. I wouldn't say the most looked up to figure in hip hop, because you got a lot of figures in hip hop who are the most this, that. Every young dude that pretty much come to the door is usually, at least the young hood dudes, they like, I want that MasterP formula, you know what I'm saying? So that's big. So big time shine moment. So thank you for sitting in. And how you been, man? How's everything with you?
I mean, I'm good. I can't complain. I'm blessed to be able to do this and to be here so long. And the new movie I got to hook up to, we about to change the way films are made in Hollywood, to be able to take social media stars and Hollywood stars, put them together, and just, my own story, my bio pic that'll be coming out next year, to be alive and to do that, because most artists that come from where I come from the struggle and the pain. They're not here to tell their stories. So, it's a beautiful thing, man. My whole thing now in life is, you got to be happy.
Yes, sir.
Most people are not happy, and for us, it's about ownership, creating products and stuff like that, and to be able to build a generational wealth.
Yes, sir.
We come from a poor culture. Mm-hmm. So, that's my goal, is now to build a generational wealth.
Yeah, a shine moment. And that's my slogan. I came up with it on episode 1, so I get that to you whenever you shining, obviously, things like that.
Yeah.
All right, so I like that you started with I Got the Hookup, because I want to run through some of the things you're doing currently. Yeah. So talk about I Got the Hookup 2, and then I also want you to go back and talk about I Got the Hookup 1. You feel me, the differences.
So, I Got the Hookup 1, I'll start with that, showing you that it was about getting the hookup on some cell phones. We trying to double our money, make it up out the hood, black and blue. And we end up coming up and had to go through the trials and tribulations. It's funny, it's a funny movie. A.J. Johnson, MasterP, Cheryl Underwood, John Witherspoon. I mean, lot of characters in that movie. And part 2, take it to 20 years later, taking these social media stars, making them a part of this. The stakes are higher. Mm-hmm. Now not only we in the ghetto, but now we dealing with other things, other issues.
Yes.
As far as gentrification, we losing everything in our community, just like what's happening in real life. We don't own nothing.
Yes.
So it's about this movie being funny, but also it has a meaning. It's a serious message in this movie.
Yes.
That we have to take ownership of our communities.
Shine
and so
moment.
we have this restaurant that we own. It's called Big Papa's. It's a burger place. They want to buy it for $2 million, but it's the last black-owned business, and I'm like, we ain't giving this up.
Yeah.
And then black character like $2 million. You know what I could do with $2 million?
A.J. Johnson.
A.J. Johnson ready to sell it all. He's ready to get the girls, the money, the jewels, the cars. He ain't thinking about the future.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about building a legacy for the family and having something in the movie. Mm-hmm. So DC Young Fly, Fat Boy SSE, Lil P.O., Michael Blackston, Romeo. I mean, 20 years later, we grown, we have kids.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid to grow up. You got to change your mindset.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a funny movie, but I feel like the world needs this, and we doing this on our own. I feel like we need more theaters. We need more support on VOD. Mm-hmm. This is a African American and Latino movie that, when they talk about the minorities, we never talked about an ownership of making movies. Because you look at Black Panthers. Black Panthers, it's a great movie. Mm-hmm. It looked like us. But we don't benefit from that because we don't own it.
Shine moment.
You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't know they supported Black Panther and they stood in lines. Yeah, it's a great looking film, but for us, we breaking those barriers down, and it's only gonna get better from here.
Yeah.
This is like for me putting out my Ice Cream Man album and then just keep growing and growing and growing. I tell people, you can't get into something unless you start. But we own this. Me and Romeo, the first father and son, we put our own money together and we financed this project and we starring in it.
Wow.
So like this is history. We tell people all the time, this is not a movie, this is a movement.
Yeah.
This is gonna open the doors for African American and Latinos to own their own films now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with the power of social media and with the power of the internet.
Uh-huh.
Like we're gonna be able to own movies now without having to sell our soul, just to be in a project. So
that's big.
This is definitely big for our culture and our people. And I just thank the man up above for blessing us to be able to do this, because there's a lot of sacrificing to make this happen.
Yes.
We put 126 speaking roles in this movie, and people that never would have got opportunity to be in a blockbuster film like this.
Yeah, shine moment.
You know, so when you look at even the movies that Tyler Perry make, it has a partner with one of those companies.
Yeah, y'all went all money in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's us.
Yeah.
And this is a big thing for our culture.
I can't wait to see it, and it's funny because when I got the Hook Up 1 came out, I was like 7 years old, so I don't know what I was doing watching that movie. But last question about that movie, I want to know what the writing process was like. Like, I don't know what the team writers or how it was, developing the story further.
Yeah, you know, to be honest with you, it's incredible because the writers that we have, these are urban writers that never get their just due in Hollywood. They'll normally buy your script, take it, and do whatever they want to do to it. But for these guys to be able to be a part of this and knowing that they getting their credits, they are part of something like this, and they know how to write urban film.
Yeah.
So
they urban. They from
there. They see it every day. They know what's funny for our people.
Yeah.
So that's what I love about this project, that the writers really went all in, because we all got together and say, we're gonna make this movie for us.
Yeah.
So when you look at Lil P.O. when he robbed the truck, you know, cell phones is $1,000 a phone.
Yeah.
So he robbed the truck and take 300 phones that's inside the truck. That's 300 grand. The stakes are high now.
Yeah.
You know, so this ain't no typical hood movie now. Like, it's like $300K off the top.
Yeah.
And so we're trying to save the restaurant, and I'm like, okay, I really don't want to get back into this, underground phone stuff. So just when I do it to try to help save the business, not only they take the phones, the Colombians is the way they push their work through the phone. We end up taking that. Now we got the Colombians after us, the police after us. It's like
a bad day.
We went to go do something to try to hit a lick. That's why I tell people all the time. You know what a lick is? A lick gonna come back on you.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, it's not a job or it's not a legit way of getting some bread.
Yep.
You're gonna have to look over your shoulder after you hit a lick.
Damn right.
So that's what we end up doing, having to look over our shoulders. So at the restaurant, the Colombians end up coming to see me. I know nothing about it. I'm thinking, we just got the phones.
Yeah.
They want their bread, they want the phones, they want their work, they want everything.
They know.
And then DC Young Fly, he just wilding out. He ready to go. He done hit the lottery. Now.
Yeah.
You know, he ain't giving nothing back. He talking about this a gift from God. You know what I'm saying? So
sound like me. All right, we gonna make sure Phoenix come out for that one, man. Yeah. I'm telling you, we gonna tear them theaters up like wholeheartedly. All right, so one other thing you going hard on right now, the Monyatis.
Yes.
Talk about the shoe, man. It looks like a really fine. And I remember, and shout out to Bougie, Free Bougie. I remember he had his little shoe going on. It was real nice. I'm looking at yours and I see the design, the way it's put together. How did that all come together?
So my thing is, I looked at why don't we own nothing? We go to the store for shoes and buy shoes all the time. You know Jordan, but Jordan don't even own Nike.
Yeah.
Jordan created Nike, like made us want to wear that brand. And even if it look like a Gucci or Versace or something like that, we spending all these money on shoes. They're not putting nothing back in our community. Mm-hmm. So I'm saying build a high fashion brand to be able to have a brand that we can make a profit, but we also could build a non-profit at the same time to put money back into the community. And every shoe you buy from Manyatta, go to manyatta.com, MONEYATTI.com. Every purchase, we're giving back to inner city kids for education.
Shine on
So
that.
that's my whole thing, is about making sure we take care of the next generation.
Yeah.
So the shoes, some of the top quality shoes that you're gonna see. You know, I built the brand on the leopards with the loud colors, and the reason why I did that, because it had to be something different.
Yeah.
So if I just made it a regular shoe, it'll be okay,
Yeah.
but it wouldn't have the effect that Manyatta's have as the Bugatti of shoes.
Gotcha.
So when you put your feet in these shoes, you know this is high-end Italian leather with the leopard print. So we didn't kill no animals.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is print. So
Yeah.
know that this is high-end fashion at its best. And you know, I feel like we spend a lot of money on shoes.
Too much.
You know, like, but we're not a part of that $1 trillion spending that African Americans do. We
Yeah.
don't put none of that back into the community. People don't know, as African Americans, we spend $1 trillion a year. So where that money going at?
Right.
We don't own nothing.
Yeah.
Imagine if we owned something, the money we could put back into building schools and focusing on early childhood education. We'll be sending more kids to college than to prison. I feel like we're sending so many kids to prison because they want to be like who hot in the streets.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know,
right.
so you got to imagine you could keep it real, because I know the streets always tell us about keeping it real, but most of the people that keep it real, they're dead or in prison.
Yeah.
You know, and so we have to make some changes. I tell, like, even if you look at like the BET, you know, back in the days, BET was owned by Bob Johnson.
Yeah. That was the Bobcats on it, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not no more. We don't own that.
We don't own Black Entertainment Television.
No, we don't.
That's crazy.
Viacom own that. Do your research.
Yeah.
So we going to do all that stuff, but we don't. It's not really us. So that's what I love. What you guys are doing, like saying, you know what? Let's take advantage of how we're gonna promote, you know, TV, radio
Yes.
to our culture. We need to own it.
Yes.
I don't care how small you start. BET started from in the house.
Yeah.
Think about it. So what you're doing right now is a part of building a platform of ownership, not just being able to do radio and TV,
Yes,
but
sir.
owning it. That's the most important thing. That's why I support you guys.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. And that's actually been my most thing with Podson Radio. That's been my stickler, because I've had opportunities to do other things and people want,
Yeah.
but I'm like, no, I'm trying to really stay true. And I know it takes time and it's a struggle, but for sure, ownership is overall what it is. But this one was from the K, so this is about you, the respect thing.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know recently you had an interview and you stated that if you were white, you think people would respect you more.
So I think that was just part of the interview, but I was
Yeah.
saying, like,
Okay.
I want y'all to know what I was saying in that.
Right.
I said, so that's what social media do. They only put headlines, whatever, to get you to feed into. I was saying all the artists in the game right now that I can help, they just look for that man in a suit that don't even know nothing about this business. That guy might be a shoemaker.
Yeah.
He might be a salesperson at a shoe store.
Yeah.
What he's gonna tell you about doing the music industry.
Right.
I made hundreds of millions of dollars,
Shine on
and
it.
I did it independently. So I can help any kid that's out there.
Yeah.
But like, they don't want me to. If I say, okay, if I help you close this deal, I don't want no money from you, but give me my 10% that you're gonna probably get that man 20% or 25%. I'm not worth that.
Yeah.
If we make some money.
Right.
So if I close a deal for you, that's $100,000 that you never had before. I'm not worth getting my $10,000 out that 100, my
Right,
10%.
yeah.
Like, that's what I mean by that.
Yeah. Nah.
So that makes no sense when this guy who you don't know will probably come and get 25%.
And you gonna give it to him without
Give it
asking.
to him. Like, look at every athlete. Every athlete. I know a guy that got a $200 million contract. The white man ain't gonna ask you for nothing because he gonna take his percentage. And you're not gonna even care about it.
Yeah.
Okay, if you made $200 million, what's 10% of that?
20 million.
20 million. Most of these kids that has all those big time contracts, their mama done been there with them, or their daddy, or somebody that grew up in the hood with them, that been with them a long time. Would they give somebody $20 million out their money?
No.
Their own mama. Let's
No.
be honest with you. would in their career, did most of these athletes, maybe some, might be a small number,
Yeah.
maybe 5%. I want to know any athlete that made $200 million, did they give their mom $20 million? But you just meet a guy at 3 months that's gonna do some paperwork for you that you don't know, that's already guaranteed. You can literally do your own paperwork right now because the numbers is the numbers in the NBA. Whatever the numbers is, that's what it is. So you go find a financial advisor that you don't know that's gonna get that 10%, because he's just writing your checks because you ain't got time to write your own checks because you think you big time. So he's taking 10% of your money off the top, and you have no problem with it. But if I say I'm going to close a deal for you, I got to struggle and fight with you because you say, well, man, P got money already.
Yeah.
Man, Master P don't need no money. He got money. That white man that's doing those contracts for you, he has 100 other clients. And you're not even tripping on that.
Right.
That's what I meant by that.
No, that is bad, and I'm glad, because they actually do that in the media, obviously, take that one little point.
But if I close all these big deals, why not come to me to help you close that? Then somebody that never, think about it. Going to college is one thing, having a degree. But I tell people all the time, I don't just want the person that has the degree, I want the person that's committed.
Yeah.
If you're not committed, you're not going to be successful.
Absolutely.
No matter what you do. The big word is commitment. All that loyalty and keeping it around, I don't care nothing about that. Are you committed?
Yeah.
Are you committed to what you do?
Yeah.
Think about it.
No, 100%. No, that's big. And actually, I think that's a good way to go into it because I seen y'all and I think it's a great thing that y'all trying to help somebody like Zion, and I hope that he will have the vision to kind of see how that could actually go and grow. You know what I'm saying? So. And that's cool that he's playing in New Orleans. So just talk about what that could be like, just if, if that did work out.
Well, if Zion has an open ear to go and get his money from a company like a Nike, and then come back and keep it real with us and say, man, I could promote this in the community or whatever to help an African-American business just blossom. You know what we could do in the community? Why? Because he's going to be a big fish in a small pond. And they have us that's already connected to the community. I feel like what we could do for the kids, it's about the future. And he don't have you don't have to spend nothing, none of his money. I'm saying help us help the community.
Yeah.
That's what this is about, because we're going to help the community. We're going to be there. When you're on the basketball court, we're going to be there helping the next generation.
I think that could be major, and I think your vision is major. And like I said, I was watching the Big Boy interview, and he was talking about, man, this same conversation I'm having with you, we had 20 years ago in my trailer. It's and the dude was absolutely right. So that's major. I can see that you have, obviously, that great foresight, man. But all right, so now let's talk about your mixed gender league and the future plans for that.
Well, my whole thing is, Ice Cube got the big three. I have the global mixed gender basketball league because I feel like women are not getting their just due in sports.
Shine moment.
I feel like I want to celebrate these women that work so hard and that can compete with the men. Yeah. But they're not getting paid like the men. Yeah. And I said this lead is going to change the game because we already internationally now. We have China, we have Europe, we have Mexico that want to be a part of this now, saying, look, we're going to put these men and women together. Yeah. Showing that the equal rights that women are, because they got, I'm telling you right now, we had a 3-point contest in the WNBA. So I mixed the WNBA, NBA, and then some just superstars that didn't get their just due. The women could shoot better than the men. That's what I see. I never expected a woman to win the 3-point contest.
That's crazy.
So
against NBA players.
Against NBA players, not just regular players. Yeah. so Cappy Pondexter, man, this woman can play basketball. Yeah, she can. She's small, but she's a beast on the court. I mean, she won the 3-point contest. I was blown away. And she got that type of heart because she playing against 7-footers. People want to see this because they can these women really survive out there?
Yeah. Can we talk about who she beat?
I ain't gonna say that. I need them for the rest of the game.
Okay. I feel it. All right, let's go MasterP story, man. So talk to us about growing up in the Cali Oak projects. What was like for you? You know?
Well, it was a lot of poverty. You know, it was different from us being out in Calabasas. I live in a mansion out here.
Yeah.
But in the Calio projects, I never had a bed.
Wow.
So I lived in a project with my grandmother and my granddaddy, and they had 12 kids. Me and my brother made 14, and with my grandparents, it's 16 people in a 3-bedroom
Wow.
project. So all the boys stayed in one room, the girls stayed in another room, and my grandparents had their own rooms.
Man.
I slept on the floor. So, but that motivated me.
Yeah, I'm like, you down there dreaming of them?
Oh yeah, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna buy y'all a mansion and we're gonna get up out of here.
Yeah.
And that was my whole thing. I never was mad or upset like a lot of these kids. Oh, when my dad not here, my mom not here, I don't have I didn't use it as an excuse.
Yeah.
I said, I'm gonna break these negative cycles.
Shine moment.
The people in my family that was doing drugs and alcohol, I said, I'm not gonna be like that because I watched what it did to them. I seen anger, I seen bitterness, but I also seen love.
Yeah.
You know, even while we was experiencing that poverty, but that's what made me not want to do drugs and alcohol.
Yeah.
And I use that. I tell kids all the time, don't let your conditions stop you from getting to where you got. It motivated me.
Yeah.
It made me more committed. I was committed to get up out of here.
Yeah.
And like, oh, this is where I'm gonna die in.
Yeah.
This my home.
Under
I
a
ain't
tree.
never said this my home. Like, dude, I'm just busy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I
can't be. This ain't the place for me. I'm a star.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I had one old lady named Miss Irene told me I was gonna be a star. She said, "Bright eyes, you gonna be a star." Everybody else told me I wasn't gonna be shit, but I kept listening to Miss Irene.
Yeah.
I said, Miss Irene said that boy gonna be a star.
Yeah.
So when they were telling me I wasn't gonna be shit, I'm like, man, y'all tripping. Miss Irene said I'm gonna be a star.
Man, shout out Miss Irene, man.
And that's what motivated me. So I was a kindergarten king of the class. I was the president of my high school, captain of the football and basketball
Natural
team.
born leader.
Man, I wanted to do anything but stay out the hood.
Yeah.
So I ran track, played baseball, basketball, football. I never was home.
Yeah.
You know, and basketball took me out. By me playing football, it made me tough.
Yeah.
My grandmother didn't want me to play football. She said, why you keep hitting them boys like that? Like, because I always get, like, back then, you got to get the color on your hammer. That's how you know you hit. And I had so much color on. But people don't know, in the hood, when you play football, they try to make you quit.
Yeah.
So I had some guys that end up being pros that was on our football team. So I'm like a little 9th grade. I'm a little skinny kid. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I get to I say I want to play football. The coach said, yeah, you want to play football? They put me in a bull ring. So I don't know if they do that now. The bull ring, they put you around this circle and they call your numbers out.
Oh,
You
yeah,
in the
they do
middle.
that. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I'm in the middle. I'm this little skinny kid. And the coach said, I hear the coach in the background saying, I'm going to make all the freshmen quit. So we ain't got to worry about this.
Yeah.
So I said, I ain't quitting. I don't care how hard they hit me, I ain't quitting.
Yeah.
They put me in a bull ring. They call all the seniors. These dudes look like grown men, like monsters. That's how big they was. So they call the numbers, Big Will, Big Red, all that. These dudes hit me so hard, I wanted to cry, but I couldn't.
Yeah.
Coach said, "You all right, rookie?" I said, "Man, that's all you got?" He said, I like this kid, man.
Yeah.
I walked back home, feel like I got hit by a car.
Yeah.
Like I really wanted
Get
to cry and walking back home. My grandmother said, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
I said, I ain't never been hit like that before.
Yeah.
But that made me say, you know what? I know what position I want to play.
Yeah.
I want to play free safety. I'm about to do all the hitting now.
Yep. Ain't hitting me no more.
They ain't hitting me no more.
That's, man, it reminds you of like Will Smith when he said nobody can beat me on a treadmill because I'll die on it.
Yeah.
That's kind of what that makes me think about.
And it made me tough. So it made me so good in basketball. So, you know, being in the projects and, you know, I learned how to shoot basketball with no lights. So they say, why you shoot so good? They ain't had no lights in the project. So at nighttime, I'll be out there shooting. I know I'm making because I got to hit the nets.
Yeah, okay.
So I said, when the lights come on, so that's what I'm talking about, being committed. You got to be committed. I was committed to making it out the project. I ended up getting a scholarship to go to University of Houston, where I got my first bed in the dormitory, and I was like, man, I got my own bed.
In college, your first bed.
In college, but guess what? That commitment to making it out the project, it motivated me. Then I didn't even get mad when I got hurt in college. I thought I was going to the pros right off the top. Ended up getting hurt. And so my grandfather told me, he said, man, you got to get up off your ass. Don't sit back here and let that get you down. What else you going to do?
Yeah. Shine
Man, I got into music. So I said, I'm going to start doing music. That's how I got into music. You know, and I ended up as a kid, you know, I said, music is this is what it's going to be now.
So getting hurt was really a blessing in
Yeah,
disguise,
it was.
pretty much.
And then it gave me time to heal and get right. Then I blew up as MasterP, and I went back to basketball. Went back to the NBA. Where, you know, I was playing against like Jason Kidd and Gary Payton and all, you know, all those guys.
Shine moment.
And I went back, and they already knew I could ball because they knew from college. So, but yeah, man, I ended up chasing that dream. And getting the NBA jersey, which nobody gets, was a lot of hard work.
Yeah, man, please. To get in the NBA, that's like, how many jobs? I don't even know how many it is in the NBA, but
people don't realize there's 400 jobs in the NBA. It's like hitting the lottery.
Yeah.
And there's 10 million people trying to get those jobs.
Man.
So to be one out of that is incredible.
To make a roster, like for a preseason summer league, like that's crazy in itself. But
I mean, they had so many guys got cut way before me. It was crazy because these guys that you see on TV, but I think that playing football and having that hard and being able to be in shape to do that, because you got to practice twice a day.
Yeah.
You know, then you have to be in condition, so they'll run you off on the condition. And then you have to be able to put the ball in the hole. So that's what I'm talking about, being committed. So I also played with Steph Curry's dad.
Shine moment.
So, you know, I got a chance to see Steph Curry when he was a young come to the gym. But my whole thing was, his dad could shoot too.
Yeah.
You are not getting that ball up on me. I'm about to foul you. You know, like that's how I was.
Yeah, Dale used to get off. Dale Curry got off. Right, but I got one more question because I do want to talk a little more about the NBA later. But so New Orleans. So you obviously your family is stars too. You know what I'm saying? So what's that dynamic like? Growing up as siblings, like you leading the charge, but they all bright-eyed, ready to go too.
Oh yeah. No, my brother C, my brother Silk. You know. We coming together as a family. You know, I tell people all the time, we from the hood to Hollywood. Yeah. To be able to come from the streets and be able to get a taste of Hollywood, it is incredible, man, because most people don't get that, to be able to play in movies and sell millions of records and come from poverty. You know, I mean, it's probably the greatest experience that you can experience. Yeah. You know, especially for a hood kid. Yes. You know, like growing up in poverty and knowing, man, that MasterP made it, I feel like we can inspire the next generation. I tell people, y'all pass me up. I sold 100 million records. Y'all could sell 200. You could sell 300, 500. Like, go for it. Yeah. You know, take what we done, and now you guys have the internet, because we had to do hand-to-hand combat, sell the store CDs. Now you could go online and sell your product. You could reach millions of people that we couldn't reach. I had to go to New York, Chicago, Texas. Had to actually fly there.
Dangerous spots, I'm sure.
You know, I done been through some situations where I got the wrong color on. They said, man, what? I know you either crazy. I'm like, no, man, I'm just trying to sell my little CD, dog. He said, better be good. How much you want for it? Man, give me $20. I only got 10. Man, I'll take that.
I'll tell you, it'll work. We're going to make it work today. All right, so, and you kind of talked about the Houston already, but what was the reason going to Houston, why you ended up leaving there? Was it just the injury?
Yeah, the injury, because y'all don't realize back then, well, all the laws didn't change. So for me, once I got hurt, they'll take your scholarship. It told me I either had to get a Pell Grant or get some type of student loan.
Oh, man, so they did you wrong.
Where I'm going to go at? My people already poor, so I'm like, I just got to go back home and figure it out. So, you know, now the rules have changed. Like, if they give you a scholarship, you got to stay there if you get hurt or whatever, which that's a great thing.
They honor it, I can't believe they did people like that, man. That's messed up. All right, so, and then you go to Merritt College in Oakland. Yep. So you come all the way to Oakland. So, like, what's the difference from New Orleans to Oakland? And then just talk about just, you know, that whole...
As I healed and I started getting better, I went back to a junior college. So, you know, because that was my first year going. And I said, I still had that basketball thing that I'm like, man, if I get better, I'm going to go back to school. So I thought I was going to end up going to Cal Berkeley. And I was going to transfer to there, but they wouldn't, Bozeman wouldn't take no junior college transfer. So I was like, after I made MVP of the junior college, the whole league. So I was like, now I'm going to go back. But Cal Berkeley wouldn't they wouldn't accept me as. They said they wasn't taking no. They had Jason Kidd at the time,
Oh.
and so I was like, all right,
Yeah.
okay. With Suave House and Uncle Luke, you know, those guys had opened the doors for somebody like me. I tell you
Yeah.
all the time, man, celebrate the people that came before you.
For sure.
So when I got back home, I realized that the music was so slow. It was just riding music. I added that New Orleans bounce, and that's how I was able to get into the West Coast, to the East Coast, you know, with my music. And
Yeah.
that's when the South started really opening up.
Yeah.
And that's where I met Jay Tweezy at.
Hey, shout out Jay Tweezy,
Man. Me and Jay Tweezy almost got into it at first. When I first got into the
He
business.
told me. He
He
told
told
me.
me. Yeah. So I went to JT Tweezy office, right? You know, I'm a young kid. I'm like, man, I got a hot record. He like, yeah, okay, we gonna play it. So he never played it. So I called him, I was like, Tweezy, when you gonna play my record?
Yeah.
He like, man, I'm gonna play it. He said, well, yeah, man, I'm outside. You know, I was wild.
Yeah.
Me and C, the whole crew, I'm knocking on the door.
Yo, yeah, he was like, I forgot what he told me, but he was like, we almost got into a fight because he was like, man, you full of shit, man.
Yeah, I used to fight then too. Back then, we fought a lot. So the good thing about No Limit, we had a problem. We bring the boxing gloves. Like,
Okay,
you know, put
yeah.
the gloves on. You know, it wasn't
Yeah.
no shooting
Yeah,
and all
that's
that.
better,
Like,
man,
no,
yeah.
put the gloves on. We had a lot of holes in our studio walls because we would just, we'll put the gloves and then it'd be all love.
Yeah.
I told Tweez, I got these gloves for you. You're going to have to put them on.
He played a record after that.
Man, we end up being friends because it's like the people, you know, sometimes it's like just having that moment. That's what I'm talking about, being committed.
Yeah.
He told me, we gonna fight, well somebody gonna lose, and then we gonna be cool after that. You know what I'm saying?
He said you showed him major love though.
Oh,
he was
yeah.
like at the time and I don't hope you don't mind me telling. He was like, at the time I ain't really had no money. He was
Yeah.
like, he walked up to me, shook my hand, put a check in my pocket, and it was all good.
No, but Tweezy was on that record while. I respected him so much. We ended up being friends. But
Yeah.
sometimes you got, like I said, being committed. I was committed to showing the world that I'm gonna be successful.
Yeah.
Even the people around me in my community, I need to show them how committed I am.
Mm-hmm.
And I was, you know, whatever it had to be, I just wanted to show him that, look, man, if you really believe in me, you just give me a shot.
Yeah.
Put me on one time.
Yep.
You know, even if you beat me up or whatever, somebody got to win. Somebody got to. I'm ready to put these gloves on. And whoever wins, you can at least play my music,
Yeah.
or at least give it one shot. You got to play it no more. Let the people just say, "Is this good or not?"
Yeah.
That's how committed I was. I committed to lose, whatever. We
But
ended
you
up being
going,
bored.
you going there
I
regardless.
got to go there. This is all I got right now. I'm trying to make it out.
Okay, what's up, man?
All right, so I feel that you were one of the first to realize like there is a market for emerging industries in sports and entertainment with
Yeah.
a sports agency. So I was just wondering like what brought you to that realization?
Well, what brought me to that realization is we don't own them. Like back then, I know you see the Jay-Z's companies and the Lil Wayne's, the Rock Nations and all, but guess what?
Right,
No Limit Sports
right.
was black owned. Black owned. No Limit Sports is a difference. Even when I pull up Rock Nation, Live Nation comes up. That tells me that they has a partner.
Right.
We had no partner. So I realized that, you know, shout out to them for even doing that because it's a lot of hard work. But I felt like it was no black-owned sports agencies in the world. Real one. They say they black-owned, but you know what it come with a partner.
Yeah.
So that was my thing, breaking that barrier down, and hopefully that opened the doors to where, you know, you see the guys now. But, you know, my thing is, even with that, like even when I pull up a Rock Nation, I always pull up Live Nation. I'm curious about
Yeah.
that. Like, what is
Sound the same.
Yeah.
Nah.
So,
Okay, sorry.
so that's the thing for me. Like, I want to see our people grow, but why we can't do this on like even when we talked
Yeah.
about the BET, it's always that other source behind it that we're not able to put the money back into the community because we don't really own it.
Yeah.
So that was the whole motive behind that, and being able to have the #1 draft pick and go after the high profile
Yes.
athletes like we was able to do, and we benefit off it.
The actual community.
The
nah.
community
Right.
actually knowing that we can help more, because we do a lot of stuff with inner city kids for education, also the elderly, because a lot of people forget about the elderly. So, you know, my whole thing, we've been doing this for over 21 years, focusing on the kids and the elderly. Because the elderly is the people that took care of us. And I'm saying, like, so even in some of these elderly homes, you know, when I go and do these things in these communities, the older people always tell me, I love you, P, for coming back. My own kids don't even come back no more.
Yeah.
They forget about it. So that just motivates me to work hard to be able to help rebuild their communities, to help make sure they have the proper things they need. And then the kids' education is so important. I feel like that's why I'm where I'm at now.
Yeah.
Without the education, you could have money. I tell people all it ain't about the money, it's about knowledge. You know, so I could lose everything I have. But if I have $1 billion worth of knowledge, I'm gonna make some money. I tell them I'm like instant grits, just add water.
You know, you feel me? That sound like a little pimp talk. All right, so 91, and that's a great year, the year I was born, you know what I'm saying? 91, your debut album drops. I think it was through In a Minute Records.
Yeah.
But so back then, what was because obviously it's much different now, because everybody cranking out albums and stuff like that. But back then, you had to pay a lot of money, go through a lot of studios, hook up with a lot of people. What's it like when you got your album out at a time like that?
So let me tell y'all what was crazy, right? So In a Minute Records is where I was getting the product to sell in my stores.
Yes.
So I ended up hooking up with this guy there, which I ain't gonna talk about, but I gave him my first album.
Yeah.
I didn't get a penny off it. I didn't get mad about it. I said, you know what, I know I could do this.
Yeah.
I done built a fan base up, now I'm doing this on my own.
Wow.
So that's when I realized I have to do this on my own if I'm gonna make some money. So that was motivation for me. So I tell kids all the time, don't get mad, just know you in the system now, and now I'm taking advantage of it.
Yes.
So that's what made me go hard like I go.
Yes.
Knowing that, okay, yeah, they didn't give me what they said they was gonna give me, but that's not gonna stop me. So now let me go and do what I know how to do.
Yeah, no, that's major, man. You get that.
Because I had paid for all the studio time. I went to this guy named K. Lou in his basement, and I just handed him the record over. And I thought, you know, eventually I'm gonna get something back.
Yeah.
And so that's what kids need to learn the business and know. But that's what I'm saying though. You need to know your business.
Yeah.
So if you know your business, think about this. Even in this days and time, a lot of these kids have 360 deals. You know, they selling their souls with these record companies when the internet is open for you to upload your own music yourself. So why sell your soul when they only uploading your music after you get done with it?
Something you could have done to yourself.
Exactly.
All right, and for the people who don't know what a 360 deal is, can you explain that?
Yeah, so a 360 deal is that they get money on everything that you do. It all depends, whatever you get. Say, for instance, you sign a deal for $100,000. Now they get money off of your touring. They get money off your merchandising. That's what a 360 deal. Get money off of your publishing.
Wow.
Everything that you do.
So they own your name pretty
They
much.
own everything.
Gotcha.
So now you in it with them.
Yeah, okay.
No matter what. So even when you leave, they're like, nah, I own this.
Yeah.
You know, you signed off your rights.
Man, that's good information.
So, and that's why you got to realize, you know, it's good when you're alive, but even when you're not here, they still making money off of you. So think about it. Tupac mama died not financially successful, which she should have been. Because with Tupac estate, they had ownership of it. The record company. They had ownership of all his music already. So instead of the money going to her, it still had to go funnel through the record company, and then the record company had to go make a deal with his estate. So you probably worked more dead than you was making when you was alive. It's like a look at Nipsey Hussle. Nipsey Hussle only sold 52,000 records when he was alive. That first album, that done went probably triple platinum now. He's the biggest star in the world dead.
Yeah.
And nobody was buying his music when he was alive. This
Yeah.
guy was putting out great music. It's nothing different about the music. It's the same music.
Same music, yeah.
So that's what I'm saying is like, but also now the estate is going to control his money, and then the record company able to put the music out instantly because they control the rights.
Wow.
So we got to think about that.
Yeah.
You know, even when we gone, it's like, how do you pass that money to your kids?
Yeah.
You know, everybody say I'm doing this for your kids, but how your kids gonna get it if the money tied up? You know, Tupac mama is a living, well, she's deceased now, but her life was a struggle because she was still trying to figure out how to get the money from the estate.
Yeah. whole life was a fight.
So who get the money now? She's not here.
Yeah, and me and Tweety just
I
talking about that.
don't even know if Tupac had kids.
No, I don't think so. But I mean, I don't really
So
know.
somebody's gonna be fighting for that money that Tupac probably didn't even want to give that money to.
And then, I mean, on a better note with Tupac, I know you got to link up with him up in the Bay, and then y'all went on tour. You said they call you Mr. Pay the Country singer.
Man. So,
how was that? How was it touring with Tupac and just meeting him?
Yeah, it was great, man, knowing that this was a guy that was so talented and being on the road with him. And at the time, I didn't have no fans. So I was the opening act, so people don't realize in Cincinnati, I had one guy jamming to my music. Yeah. And I told my brother, I'm going to turn that one fan in the middle. He thought I was crazy. Yeah. But I went through the crowd, gave that guy a t-shirt and said, man, I appreciate you, man. Yeah. And that let me know I got one person to believe in me. I'm going to turn it into millions. And I started out at the time, like you said, you know, by me being from New Orleans, they thought I was a country singer or something. So they called me, instead of MasterP, it was Mr. P, the country singer. So I had to pull a white guy over and say, look, man, I'm really from the street. Next time you call me, I'm going to be proud. You know, you better get it right. Yeah. And so, you know, I went from nobody believing to being able to sell over 100 million records. That goes to show you how good God is, and if you're committed to something, you can get there.
Absolutely. And all right, so I heard, and I don't know if this is true, so I didn't fact check this one. I actually got this as a kind of fan question. They was like, man, at one point P was dropping like an album a week.
Yeah. You know, my thing was I looked at the music business and I said, you got to take advantage of this while you're hot. And so I end up putting guys out that nobody heard of. Yeah. So people don't realize back then, the big corporations were selling music without the albums being done. They had their one sheets done. So once I figured that out, I'm like, all you need is a one sheet to go to Circuit City or Walmart or Kmart and sell this and come up with a release date. So I went to my graphics guy. I took pictures of all my artists. Yeah. They didn't even know they had albums done. And I took pictures of them. And I made one sheet, came up with stories about, and came up with names of songs. None of those songs was end up on the album. So I ended up getting the money for the album before it was done. From the stores. So I made all these one sheets up, and I'm like, now I got to deliver all these records. Yeah. So I end up doing that, and that's how I put all those artists on the maps. And I said, I just need to rap on all these artists' records. Yeah. Which a lot of guys don't do that no more. They want to be the star by themselves. I say, nah, this is my company. I'm rapping on every. I want to turn all these guys into millionaires. I want everybody to be. You know, they say you're not successful unless you turn somebody else into a millionaire.
Shine moment.
And
I do believe that.
That's what we was able to do. You know, to take Mia X, Platinum, Gold, C, Silk, Mystical, and then to come back and get Snoop and take his project to another level. I mean, man, it was just having vision, being able to see something bigger, and not just getting caught up worrying about, oh, I need to go in the studio and make these projects. Yeah. Man, we took over the studios. I ended up buying the Source magazine inside cover and back cover for the next 2-3 years, because at that time the Source was the Bible. Yeah. And so that's my way of selling these projects. I said, so I put all these album covers in there, and then
marketing genius.
Man, I had so much to where the record companies wanted to buy 3 times the amount I paid for it. I'm like, well, if I ain't got nothing coming out, I can make me a little money off of selling them back to ad space. So now it all worked out, man.
Yeah, you know, that's amazing, man. All right, now let's talk about the deal that you constructed with Priority, because a lot of people say that's the greatest deal of all time.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you know, it never happened before where I got 85% and the record company got 15%. Never happened. Yeah. So what happened was I ended up spending $25,000 in the 90s to go talk to Michael Jackson, attorney. So at that time, Michael Jackson was the highest paid artist in the world. He was making 22% a record. Wow. So the guy told me, if you got $25,000, I'll sit down and talk to you. I'm like, $25,000 to talk to you? Yeah. All right. I gave him the 25. I went there. He said, look, the only deal you could get bigger than Michael Jackson. That's all I kept saying. How can I get a deal bigger than Michael Jackson? He said, the only other deal they have is a distribution deal, where you get 85% and the record company get 15%. But you're gonna need $200,000 or $300,000 marketing money. So I said, man, I gave you $25,000. You tell me I need $200,000 to go get this deal. Yeah. So all the record companies kept coming at me, asking me, you know, do I want a deal? I said, only deal I want is a distribution deal.
Yeah.
That's why I get 85%, you get 15. The only company I got to fall for the deal was Priority Records.
Yeah.
But they told me I needed $200, but I was selling my CDs out the trunk of my car anyway, so I had the bread.
Yeah.
And they told me that I might sell 6,000 records when I put it out.
Yeah.
Because nobody know me.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know I was hitting the road with Tupac and them going all these
Yeah.
markets, putting my own posters up. So I be in New York, I'm putting my poster up, and the guy says, "Is that you?" I said, "Nah, man, we all look alike in the South." And I'm in the hood,
Yeah.
in every hood, putting my own, so
Mm.
building my brand at the
Mm-hmm.
same time. And man, I end up, I think, selling like 50,000 copies the first week, the Ice Cream Man, when
Wow.
it came out. And the guy was like, man, at $19 a record, I probably made more than NWA, Ice Cube, you know, everybody that was on the label.
Everybody that's all over the TV
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Yeah, doing it independently. And that's why I was saying you got to be committed to what you believe in.
Yeah.
And from there, the album ended up going gold and platinum. And that's when I ended up making Forbes top 40 under 40.
Shine
You
moment.
know, to where a guy from the hood able to make that type of money.
Yeah.
So I let people know that it's possible to not be controlled by nothing. So I was able to put out all those records. I put out 20 records at one time. In a year time, I had over 20 records on the top 20 Billboard charts,
Man.
which is unheard of. So that's what my movie about my life, King of the South, is about. Like going out chasing your dreams and doing what they say you can't do.
Yeah.
Because I sit in that boardroom, by me owning a company, I sit in the boardroom with a bunch of corporate white guys that told me that I couldn't do this.
Yeah.
I say, why I can't do this? Because I own most of the company.
Mm-hmm.
I own 85%. Y'all only getting 50 because I do what I want to do.
Yeah.
You know, at that point,
Yeah.
it's like, well, okay, let him do what he want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And if I didn't own that, I wouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah.
And so that's why I tell people about product. Product outweigh talent. So even today, I don't have to sell records. You know, I have product.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, my music was my product that I owned.
Mm-hmm.
So I was able to make MasterP dolls, clothing, no
Yeah.
limit clothes, tennis shoes, all those type of things that people don't realize. That's why my empire steady kept getting bigger
Yeah.
and bigger. And 20 years later, I still could live in a mansion in Calabasas.
Shine
Which, you know,
moment.
they say that your time for success as a hip hop artist or something like that, normally 2, 3, 5 years at the most.
Mhm.
Then you go back to the hood. You know,
Yeah.
but that's why I'm saying we have to think about ownership and getting product.
Absolutely.
Because, you know, now we went from rap snacks to rap noodles. So now, you know, we went from buying Roma noodles, they're gonna have to buy our noodles now.
Yeah, that's
you know,
major
and,
too.
And I thought of it like, you know, why we don't own no noodles?
We the ones
eat a
eating
lot
them,
of
yeah.
You know, in college, that's all I ate. You know, and in the project, that's all I ate.
Yeah.
So I'm like, why we don't own that?
Right.
You
That's
know,
amazing.
even in the prison system, that's what they sending to people in the prison system.
Right,
We don't
wow.
own none of that. That's what I'm saying. We don't get none of the $1 trillion, you know, business that we are empowering them with.
Yeah.
You know, we buying all their products and nothing getting put back.
Yeah.
You know, we're not helping us
Mhm.
because we can't, because we don't own nothing.
You gotta break it. How do you think that cycle gets broken?
It start now by what we doing.
Yeah.
I don't care if you start small, start with something. Everybody might can't own them in yachties and build a big company like
Yeah.
that. But guess what? You can start small. You start with 1, start with 2. Start with your product, being able to put it out there in the marketplace and showing it to people.
Yes.
You know, start promotion.
Yeah.
If you say, hey, this is my product, I own this. That's how you start.
Got you. Okay.
You got to sell 1 before you can sell millions.
Yeah. 100%. All right, and actually, I got an idea. I'm gonna tell you too when we get off this. I told Tweez about it, but I want to do something unprecedented in the podcast industry
All right.
for sure. But okay, so where was we at? All right, so success of Unbounded in the movie, like in
Yeah.
the deal you got off that movie when it came out. How was that?
Well, it was crazy because we ended up selling 1 million DVDs, and when nobody believed, because there was like the movie don't look that good and all that. Like, you know what? That was the best that we could do with the resources we had at the time. And it was real. People can relate to it.
Yeah.
So think about it. It might not be the best looking product, but for the marketplace where I'm selling this to, it was the best because people could relate to it. Think about it. Even the movie we just did right now, like, it don't have to be Black Panthers. It don't have to look like that. This is a funny movie. This movie about us having fun, about us making it through some things. Same thing what I'm about it. It was showing the hood in a real way. You know, so comedy don't have to look like Black Panther. We come in there to laugh. We want a good storyline.
Yeah.
You know, but you don't have to be Star Wars. You know, and I think that's what people get caught up at. If you don't have Star Wars money, you can't make a Star Wars movie. You know?
True.
So if you don't have $300 million to shoot a movie, it's not gonna look like three. So guess what? Make the best out of what you have and keep growing. So that's what I'm about. It was.
And you got a great
successful.
Distribution deal with that too, right?
Yep, great distribution deal because they didn't believe in it.
Yeah.
You know, the first time I gave them a price for it to put it in stores, it was like, nobody's checking for this. Where are you gonna sell this? I said, you know what? Sell it to the record store. I went to Walmart and told them, like, if y'all put this in there, I'll give y'all a good deal. They say, no, we're not gonna do it. I said, well, no, we'll just take a couple of them. But if you come back, I want double the money that I get. It was like, okay, if that happens, we'll give you double the money.
Yeah.
Flew out the store. They come back and had to pay me double what they was normally paying for movies.
Man, every time the people come back like that, how excited are you? Like,
I'm just sitting back waiting.
Yeah.
You know? It's like, because you know what you got.
Yeah.
You confident because you know you put the work in.
Yeah.
And you committed to what you're doing. It's like, I got the hookup too. I can't wait because nobody don't believe that you could put social media stars and Hollywood stars together.
Yeah.
They don't realize we have over 200 million followers together.
Yeah.
You know, we have over 200 million followers with the social media stars we have in here. So we're gonna change the way movies are made and the way movies are marketed.
Yeah, those influencers should be able to put some serious, because that's how you do stuff now. Like that Fire Festival thing that went crazy, that was all because they had them influencers out there, you know what I'm saying? But Nikkei, what's happening?
All right. Okay, so the question that I had, I know there's a lot. You kind of mentioned this earlier with the headline quote, but you elaborated more on that by what you meant. But of your position, of your status, how important do you feel it is for you to give your opinion and speak your voice on a lot of stuff that's going on in the world? And what does that do for everyone else?
Well, to be honest with you, as long as you use your platform positive, like I think social media should be a business. And it also should be to where you're able to tell the truth and show people the truth, because people could say anything about you right now. And they'll run with it.
Yeah.
Like people will run with headlines.
Right.
But social media is a way that you can express what's real.
Yeah.
And that's what I use it for. I don't use it for the other stuff that a lot of people use it for. I definitely want to influence the next generation. I want them to know that if I could make it, they could make it. So I kind of use it to inspire the next generation.
I like that you touch on social issues so much, because a lot of like big businessmen, I know they might feel away about it, but they like to just shy away from it because they're like, I don't want, and I like how you always attack it head on.
If you believe in that man up above and you truthful and your heart is well, what you're saying, you know what, it's about doing the right thing. Most people just want to sit back and they don't want to tell the truth.
Yes, sir.
Because the truth hurts. To be honest with you, even like right now, you see a lot of these guys getting celebrated when they dead. It's like, why you celebrating somebody when they dead? When they was here, you didn't do that. So think about it. Like, that's fake. I don't care what nobody say.
100%.
It is. Like, we don't want to say that because you don't want to piss nobody off, but somebody need to tell them.
Yeah. Nah, you 100% right. Like, couldn't get a hold of you while I was alive.
Man couldn't get $10 from you while I was alive.
Now you hitting everybody else talking about whatever he needs.
Think about this right now. Even looking at a Nipsey Hussle, like, if you only sold 52,000 records when you was alive, you don't think you was frustrated because you know all the hard work you put into this record and you got no airplay. not even in California.
Mm-hmm.
Now he has 3 records in the top 10 in the country at radio, Billboard, the same record. Like nobody remixed the record, nobody did nothing. Like how could that record be top 10 in the country now? I seen people walk up to me and say, P, I know that was your friend. I ain't even listened to his music at first, but his music is good. I'm like, that's crazy.
That's what most people are.
So they wait till you gone to be like, okay, I'm gonna listen to it now since everybody talking about it.
Mm-hmm. Even in Phoenix, and you know, Phoenix not far from LA. There wasn't a lot of people messing with Nipsey Hussle.
Okay.
Now it's like
he the king.
The king, yeah, the king for sure.
The king of hip hop now. That's all he wanted was while he was alive.
Mm-hmm.
Man, tell me how great I am while I was here. If somebody would have told him that, he probably wouldn't even been in the neighborhood he was in.
Right.
Think about it, because now as you successful, you have to know how to survive.
Mm-hmm.
But now you have to be there.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
society is crazy, man.
Crazy. And I want to ask, just like you was talking about surviving, I want to ask, because you moved back to New Orleans, obviously. So how was that for you at the time? Like, was it dangerous for you after you blown up already and you moved back to New Orleans?
Yeah,
how was
but
that?
the thing about it, it was, but you have to know how to survive.
Yeah.
You have to play defense.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I knew. I realized that no matter what, I have to play defense.
Yes.
And if you're not ready to play defense, you shouldn't be there.
Yeah. Yeah, Tweezy was telling me about a project party in Alabama.
Yeah, you gotta play defense.
All right. Okay, so many people. Oh, this is your question. Go ahead, okay. I'll edit that.
Okay, so we kind of spoke on that a little bit already, so I will go ahead and ask.
Okay, no problem. All right, so make them say specifically.
Yeah.
That record, the video. How was the experience for that video, and what was the budget for that video? Like, how much money did y'all spend on Make Them Say
Probably $1 million. It was crazy. Gold tanks. We took over schools. We brought all the stores out. The outfits and the clothing. And, you know, at that time, man, when you own a company of no limit magnitude, you know, you had to go out for the video.
Yeah.
The video was shot with film footage.
Yeah.
It wasn't shot back then. It was literally like making a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mystical, specifically. That's always I felt like his verse on Make 'Em Say is one of the greatest verses in hip hop history. But then the song goes, is that the biggest record? Or I Miss My Homie?
Probably Miss My Homies. But Make 'Em Say both of those records was huge because they had 2 different impacts.
Yes.
You know, a lot of kids was dying at the time. New Orleans, the murder capital of the world. I lost my brother at the time.
Sorry,
so
rest in peace.
It was like, I don't write music, it just pour out me.
Yeah.
So that song was made with a lot of passion.
Gotcha.
You know, for my brother to live on through my music. And then Make 'Em Say was my battle cry. It was like, I done seen so much.
Yeah.
So that was the way. I had an uncle, you know, when I lived in a project with my grandparents, Uncle Mike. He knock on the door when he drunk, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
That's how he get us up.
Yeah.
And so, you know, that was just in my head, like.
Can you say it one time for me? I hate the interview. Y'all you say it one time for me, please.
So, you know, people don't realize real life things end up intertwining with the music.
Yeah.
And that's what make it organic.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what makes it unique, and that's what makes it different, and that's what makes it worth so much money, because it's not nothing you heard of. Like a Make 'Em Say it's unique.
Yeah.
Like it might take you a while to catch on, but the uniqueness is what's gonna build a movement. Also, like About It, people don't, what the hell is About It?
Yeah.
You know, like you down to do whatever,
Yeah.
like for real, like, you know, that Miss My Homies, people going through feelings and struggles and pains and losing loved ones. I feel like even till today, that record is still relevant.
Yeah.
To where
it is,
where you could feel that if you going through those times.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what music is about. It's about feeling, making you party, or making you think.
Yep, shine moment. And I think, like I said, that was just one of my favorite records. But I was like 7, maybe 6 at the time, probably Romeo age, maybe a little younger or something like that. But I was a project baby, so I'm running around knowing all the words. I'm a Colonel, what a motherfucker. I'm cousin as a kid, probably not in front of my mama, but you know what I'm saying. But one person I was also a big fan of was Snoop. You feel me? Because obviously we on the West and things like that. I felt like, and he bigged you up crazy. He's like, man, when I was on death row, I wasn't even making money. We was pretty much getting our allowances. He was like, when I went to P, we turned into a bosses. He was like, he turned me to a boss. He gave me money. He taught me the business. He's like, man, MasterP, man, is really the one who set things up for me. So what was it like working with Snoop? And I want to know, did you influence the sound on that song, Top Dollar, with the Gold Fleet? Because it was a whole different sound for Snoop.
Yeah, now that's what we'll do. We'll get in the studio and we'll just come up and we'll work together. Yeah. And so that's No Limit is a family, man. I feel like we're at university. I told Snoop, everybody around, when it's time to graduate, I want y'all to go on and do what y'all need to do. Like I want him to be his own boss. I want him to be a millionaire, billionaire, whatever it is. So when Snoop came to No Limit, I realized he had so much left in the tank. You know, people thought his career was over with. You know, and I'm like, man, we love Snoop. Like, Snoop is a star. I just need to show him that, man, you need to go out and go do what you got to do. I kind of like got that from, I read about this guy who owned this book, and y'all probably know him, is Dr. Seuss. So the guy was throwing his books away. He got tired. His career was over. He felt like nobody believed in him. But his friend was on the side, said, man, what you doing? He was throwing his books in the garbage can. He said, I'm done with writing books. So his friend grabbed and said, no, man, I know a publisher. Let's take these books over there. And he ended up being one of the biggest writers for kids' books in the world. So I just was that guy to tell Snoop, it's not over, man. Like, you the best, dog. Like, you really need to go and just focus on you. You know, and that's what he did. And I mean, I always looked at him as a boss. Because I looked up to him for his music. You know, and I'm like, no, man, you need to be owning this. You need to be putting out groups. You need to be doing all these things. Like, you put too much time in this business. Like you a legend. You a star. And by us coming together, he was able to be more committed. And also, he was more into who he is as a boss and just an artist. You know, and I think he ended up started those groups he had at the time. And
that East Side, that whole movement.
And that's what I could have had a piece of that. Say, nah, I didn't want it, man. Do your thing.
Let him get his bread. No, that's major. And we ain't gonna take too much more of your time, but I got a few more questions. I'm sure she got some. But I want to know, what was like your view on the business side of the rap game, late 90s, early 2000s, like in that era, like just what we was talking about?
I was like, everybody wanted to be famous. You know, everybody just wanted a budget from the record companies, and I'm like, that ain't about to happen. Because I know so many talented people that didn't have no bread. And I was like, that ain't about to happen to me. Because they was talented back then. Like, I was among the stars, like, but nobody really had no bread. So, you know, I figured that's what I was gonna change. Like, I'm going to get some money. Forget the fame.
You did change it. You definitely, because now look, and I mean, they not obviously paying homage like they used to, but everything is a direct. I would say Nipsey is probably a direct blueprint almost of everything that you accomplished. So I think that's a major shine moment. All right, and then Lil Romeo, like I said, we probably around the same age. So I remember when the first joint came out, or at least the first thing I seen was, the 11 years old making A's and B's. So what was that like, watching him when he was young, catapult into the rap game and actually becoming a success as a kid? You know, because it's not just because you're your kid, because nobody really cares about who's kid.
He was talented. So people don't know that Romeo used to sneak in the studio and make records. So I didn't even know. So one of my producers said, I got this record, man, it's a hit. It's on Romeo. I said, what Romeo? I'm talking about like another person or something. He said, yo, Romeo. I'm like, hold up, man. Romeo been in the studio? So we had a studio in the house. So like, I'm like, man, let me hear this. So I sit him down. I'm like, man, this is pretty good. So I'm like, dude, you sure you want to do this? He was like, yeah, I want to do it. I said, do you love it? He said, yeah, I love it. I say, what type of grades you have? A's and B's. I
Yeah.
say, if you're gonna do this, you got to keep getting A's and B's.
Yeah.
So I say, but I don't really know how good you're made because I'm your dad. I might think this good, but I'm going on MTV tomorrow.
Yeah.
Come on with me, and I want to see
If you gonna perform.
if you perform this and see if the people gonna like it. Man, he went up there, he went crazy. That's when I'm like, this dude might be bigger than me.
Yeah. Oh man, 2001 was strong, man. I remember it. He took
you
over
know
the
what
summer.
I like though? His message. His message was different as a kid. He was having fun, and it still was a kid.
Yeah.
You know, it was street because we come from the street, but it's still like the kids could relate to it. It wasn't
Yeah.
like no grown people stuff.
Yeah.
So you know, and I let him know, like even though you're doing this, you gonna go to college. You know that.
Yeah.
I don't care how big, because he had a part. The same time he was supposed to go to college. People don't know, Romeo took off from the music business and went to USC. But what was the movie with the wolves and the vampires and
Oh, Twilight.
Twilight?
Twilight.
So Romeo was up for the lead role.
Wow, for the
And-
wolf, huh?
Yeah.
Yes.
And he couldn't go because he was in college. So he had to decide. I was like, I told you was going to college.
Yeah.
He was like, and then he was playing basketball in college, so he couldn't do a movie. And so that's what I'm talking about, being committed. But I think passing that up and doing what he do now, I mean, and being a boss and not just being like a trinket for one of
Yeah.
these companies. I mean, we making our own movies now.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, sometimes you got to give up some things to get to where you really want to be at. And like, you know, and I told him, I say, man, if you keep this up, you probably could be one of the biggest stars in the world, because he's doing the right thing. He's doing positive stuff. He's not perfect, but as a young person, most young people have been through so much negative stuff in their careers right now. Like, he could go with any company and be a sponsor or promote a brand because of the positive things, you know, and the way he give back in the community. I mean, he's a real boss.
Yeah.
So that's what I love about, you know, making those sacrifices. And I tell people all the time, like, everybody wants a little money, but you gotta watch, you know, what you do, because most people are selling their souls right now.
Yeah.
Hey, I got one more question. So I just want to know, how did you come to get the stage names Ghetto Bill and the Ice Cream Man?
Yeah. You know what, to be honest with you, so my friends looked at me like the ghetto Bill Gates because they know I had bread.
Yeah.
So Bill Gates was the dude
Right.
at the time for as one of the richest guys in the world. So they look at me in the hood, this our guy right here, this ghetto Bill right here. And then the Ice Cream Man. So in the ghetto, when I lived in the ghetto, you know, the Ice Cream Man wore the white suit. He made money. He was a hustler. He wasn't a jacker or a robber or nothing. He come to legitimately make money. He was a hustler. And I always looked at myself as a hustler, like not a person that's coming to take something, but I'm coming to try to sell something and make some money. I don't need to look over my shoulder. And back at the time, everybody wore black.
Yeah.
So you had NWA Black, the Ghetto Boys, Ice Cube, everybody. It was dark.
Yeah.
I said, if I ever make it, I'm going to light it up. So I'm going to wear the white Dickie suit instead of the black.
Yeah.
I need to be different. I'm the only one out there with all white on. Everybody else got all black, but everybody paid attention to me.
Yeah.
You know, they was like, who the guy with the white suit on? That's the Ice Cream Man.
No, that's dope. And actually, I remember them white suits. I didn't even know people from New Orleans wore Dickie suits until I got a little bit older. Because actually, when I was just over there, I was explaining to them, I thought that was a West Coast thing. They was like, nah, we do it, but we'll throw some boots on with it or something like that.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, all right. So last thing I want you to kind of touch on some of your business ventures outside of music. I know we talked about a lot of them. Something else, anything else you might be having coming up, and then something like your philanthropy, anything like that.
So the philanthropy stuff, I don't like to talk about. I just do it.
Okay.
I've been
Shine
doing
moment.
like over 21 years with the kids and the elderly. You know, I just do it. You know, we have Team Hope NOLA, and at teamhopenola.org, what we do, you see the basketball games, but it's not about the basketball game. It's about the scholarships that we give away to inner city kids.
Yes.
So we do this all on our own. You know, I don't ask other people to come. If they want to come be a part, come. But this is gonna happen. Like, I'm committed to these kids in the community to make sure that we further their education.
Yeah.
So that's what the celebrity game is about. In the elderly program, what we do is a lot of these elderly homes, nobody visit them.
Yeah.
So we not only visit them, we recondition the buildings. We make sure they have all the latest technology. You know, they have computers. They want to be able to look for their loved ones. So we build these living rooms and we build these compounds in their buildings where they can actually be in touch to the world. You know, this year we working on convenience stores in the buildings now. So now they don't have to go far. They want soap, they want food. You know, we building convenience stores.
Yeah.
So this year,
Major shine
you're gonna
on it.
see us doing that in all the elderly homes that we deal with. So we feel like they shouldn't have to go to 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have to go walk. You know, so we plant seeds in their community. We want to make sure they have trees and flowers and plants so they can feel good about. We built benches. You know, so those are the type of things that I'm focused on. But on the business wise, like I said, from the wrap snacks to the wrap noodles now to the minyati, the clothing, shoes, also the movies, the TV shows, growing up hip hop. We're putting out major movies this year. I feel like not only my biopic, but all the other movies to get the bag, the female movies, the basketball, global mixed gender basketball. So having all those things, we also creating jobs.
Yeah, shine moment, man.
For people in the community.
Yes.
One thing that we've done, I know a lot of you talk about buying the projects and coming back. When you go back and look at, I grew up in the Callio projects. So through HUD, people don't know you have to go through HUD to do what we was able to do. I have a guy named Keith. He taught me how to do this. He went back and rebuilt the projects in Pittsburgh, where he's from. This guy is an African American developer. During Hurricane Katrina in 2009, you could research this. Internet wasn't big, so in order for us to have the Callio projects revamped, we had to raise $118 million.
Wow.
So a lot of people talk about when you go back and look at the projects where we grew up at. We done that. This guy's an expert. He showed me how to do this.
Yeah.
We cut the ribbon back there. But we had to go through HUD, but they wasn't gonna do what we was able to do for the elderly and the people that are less fortunate in the projects. They was trying to knock it down and just build apartments. That's what I tell people about the gentrification.
Yeah.
So we was able to save that. You know, for our culture. And I'm more proud of that because growing up in a place like that we have to be educated. You have to know how to develop projects to do that. They're not going to give you a project that big to develop unless you have the right team. Yes. So, you know, and that was the 118 was just the first phase of it.
Yes.
So to be able to do that and to come from there, like that's for me, that's probably one of the most exciting things that I was able to do in my career, knowing that we was able to do that.
Yeah.
You know, for where I grew up at. So now, from the way the project used to look to how it look now, is incredible.
Shine moment, man. It all come full circle.
Yes.
That's
Well, it's all about the man up above blessing you because he said he want to see what you do with less before he give you more.
I swear to God, I tell people that all the time.
Yeah. If you can't do nothing with the little, what you gonna do with a lot?
They be like, man, why are you so happy? I'm like, because we got it already.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
what people don't know is just numbers.
yeah.
And you can't take it with you.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. It's the imprint that you leave on this earth.
Yeah.
Because if you really want to get to somewhere else, you're gonna understand that.
Yeah.
You know, I tell people all the time, there's no U-Haul behind a hearse. When it's over, it's over.
Yeah.
It's what you did while you was here.
Yeah. 100%, man. And it's been a hell of a conversation. So if you got any other messages you want to give, anything, shout outs, I know you probably don't do, you know.
One thing I want to say, everybody got 24 hours. Is what you do with yours is what you're going to be. You know, if you're going to be nothing, that means you did nothing with your 24
Yes.
hours. If you're going to be successful, that means that you invested your time. Everybody thinks it's about money. Everybody want a hand up.
Yeah.
Nobody gave me nothing. I believe in that man up above, and I went out and chased my dreams, and I started small.
Yeah.
So stop worrying about the people that got millions.
Yeah.
Start with whatever you have and start doubling it up. Then triple it.
Yep.
Then quadruple it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Don't worry, people are not gonna help you.
Yeah.
Keep wasting your time about, oh, well, they don't do this for me.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna do that. What you gonna do for you?
That's right.
You know,
Shine
take
moment.
them 24 hours and go be the best you could be. If you partying and drinking and smoking 24 hours, then you probably gonna end up being a drunk or alcoholic or a dope fiend.
Yep.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
So stop fooling yourself. Take them 24 hours. You want that nice house and a car, take that 24 hours and start doing something with it.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get nowhere worrying about what somebody else have and what you don't have. Make the best out of what you have. Take your 24 hours and do something with it.
Yeah. No, that's a major. I'm gonna have to really capitalize on that quote. I didn't know if I was crazy, but I always say that to people. Nikkei, how you doing? How you enjoy the interview?
Yeah,
You know?
lovely. Definite shine moment, definitely. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes, I'm proud of y'all. Keep on doing what y'all do.
Oh, man,
It's
for
starting
sure,
right
man.
here. I tell you, it's about the next generation.
That's
we
right.
don't need to hold all these secrets. I want y'all to shine.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Man,
saying?
man, we got shoot. I hopefully catch you in Phoenix sometime. We'll bring you by the studio. We'll see how we starting to build it up.
All right.
You know what I mean? But it is Podson Radio, man. Episode 100. I want to thank y'all for sticking with me. We got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds more to go. The grind don't stop. The shine don't stop. But now we about to run around LA. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna chase some folks around LA live or something. Podson Radio. We up out of here, man. Let's go.